Show. Tell them it's the Bougie Show. The Bougie Show, yeah, 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 yeah. Turn up. All around the world, you gon' hear us. Turn up. Everywhere we go, you gon' hear us. Turn up, turn up.
We're going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Bougie Show. I am Zay the DJ. My guest in front of me has a couple years under her belt as an adult performer and making her presence felt in the adult film industry. Please don't let the tattoos and piercings fool you. She's very soft and a girly type of woman. Ladies and gentlemen, the slim cutie with the tight booty, Miss Cassidy Luxe is in the building.
What's
You approve of your introduction?
Approve.
You didn't expect the girly type of woman?
I liked that you said that, actually.
Yeah, well, I had to do my research to see what you had
I like
out
that
there.
you said that.
Yeah, I'll do my research. Thank you for joining us on the Bougie Show. I know it's been a long time coming. We tried to get you for our last event, but you were in California at the time, this past 2023 June.
Yeah.
How was your commute?
It was good.
You got
Little
little traffic?
Little traffic.
Where you came from, Miami?
West Palm Beach.
Oh, wow. I didn't know you came. Oh, God damn it, we can applaud you. Drove way down from Palm Beach?
Yeah.
Which part? You over by Boca? You past Boca? Well, Boca's...
I live in downtown. West Palm.
Downtown. Okay.
Yep. Just across the bridge from the Palm Beach.
So you over there by Trump House?
I'm by
Trump.
Trump.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
what's
still
what's
there.
that downtown area called? Clueless? What is it called?
Oh, well, it's famous for like Clematis Street.
Clematis. Right. Yeah, I used to live in Palm Beach, so I know a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. So why didn't you come up this way? Since you work mostly down this way, right?
Yeah, I'm here like all the time. But when I initially moved to Florida, I'm originally from like the Philly area.
Okay.
I wasn't even in porn at the time. And I had a mutual friend from school that was living in West Palm.
Right.
So I came to visit and I was like, oh, this is cool. I like it here. And I just kind of settled there. And then I eventually got into porn and realized,
we'll get into that.
Yeah, realized this is a little out of the way, but I'm happy.
Speaking of, we got Cassidy Luxe joining us on the Bougie Show. Is it true that COVID-19 and being on lockdown led you to becoming a sex worker?
Yeah.
Out of boredom?
It was more so like a now or never type moment because I was obviously working traditionally.
What were you doing?
I was in corporate, so I was working for a distribution center.
Hell of a transition. Okay.
Yeah, and I got into OnlyFans. Like I made an OnlyFans account in like 2019.
Right.
I never used it. I was really nervous. And then my best friend, who is actually a musician, he was like, "You should get on OnlyFans. Like I meet so many of these models, and like you would kill it." And I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, "Yeah, but like what you're posting on Instagram, you could post there and make money." And I'm like, that makes sense. So I took the plunge and I loved it.
You took the plunge?
I took the plunge.
What is the plunge?
Diving right in.
Okay.
Just busting it open right away.
Plunge. Okay. Got it. Busted wide open right out the gate?
Yeah. Busting right open. And yeah, I realized I loved it. And then the pandemic like actually happened and we were all getting sent home and doing all this extra stuff and there was no extra compensation and I was like, well, what the hell? Like this is not cool. I'm really enjoying doing this and I'm making an income.
Right.
So over a little bit of time, I got myself fired from that job.
For what?
I actually got them for workplace harassment.
You was harassing somebody?
No, they were harassing me.
Wait, like sexually harassing?
No,
just
like
give me a hard time.
Yeah,
okay,
just give me a hard time.
Oh, okay.
So I got them for workplace
so typical
harassment.
job fuck shit. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, typical shit.
You want to say the name of the retired adult performer that was your neighbor when you moved to Florida?
Oh, Shay Fox. She's my best friend.
Okay, still friends with her?
My best friend.
Wow.
She's really, realistically, anything I need her to be. A best friend, a mom, a sister, mentor, whatever I need her to be.
What did she advise you when you first came in the game? What was the key game, like keystone, like what was the number one jewel?
Well, getting started, I remember her saying, like, I just want you to be serious about this.
Okay.
Because obviously, she has a reputation on the line. She's put in a lot of time. So that was really the first thing was just, being respectful of her mark that she's made.
Right.
And then obviously it just kind of went into, like, just realize, like, you're going to take off pretty quickly and everyone is going to find out.
Wow.
So she's like, just know there's no hide in this. Like, once you're in, you're in. And everybody knows.
Wow. Oh, wow. Cassidy Luxe joining us on the Bougie Show. Did anxiety occur while en route to a location to your first shoot?
My first one. I was like, this is going to make or break me. Because at the time, like before I was even in porn, I actually thought I was asexual.
Asexual?
Asexual.
I know pansexual. What's an asexual?
Somebody who, I think it's more so like they have a hard time like engaging in sexual activities.
Okay.
And for me, that's kind of what it was. But now looking back, it was like I just wasn't in the hookup culture. That just wasn't my thing.
Got it.
And all my friends were. So I think that's kind of why I was like, am I asexual? Because I'm not doing all these things that my friends do. Like they're going to the club and they're bringing somebody back. I'm going home alone. And that's kind of what it was. Like I was just like, I don't want to hook up with these randoms. So I was really scared doing that first scene because I was like, am I going to like fall in love with this person or am I going to be traumatized? And it wasn't like that at all. I was completely liberated.
So who did you perform with? Was it
Tyler
a BG?
Nixon.
Tyler, okay. All right, so when you came in, did you guys have conversation? Because I know some performers state to me that, you know, people kind of introvert. And so he did make it comfortable for you, right?
Yeah.
Did you know who you were working with prior to arriving at the location?
Not exactly.
Okay.
At that time, I hadn't like asked like what do they look like, who are they, like I didn't really even know the questions to be asking, so I really went into it pretty, I don't want to say blindsided, but not knowing the full picture.
Were you comfortable with your sex game at that prior to arriving to the location? Like you knew how to get down?
No, but at that time I was like, okay, like I could do this.
Were you promiscuous? I know you said you weren't promiscuous, right?
Not exactly. I've always been a sexual person, but I was never really in the environment to really like physically put it to work.
What makes you become a sexual person? Like, how did you knew it was in you? Were there certain things you identified with prior to adult films? What was? Give me an example.
So I knew from a really young age that I was going to be a sex worker, and I was so young I didn't really know what that meant.
How did you know that?
What it was I was idolizing like celebrities and playmates that obviously embody that sex symbol. I was like, there's something really cool about them and I want that. So I admired a lot of the people that were kind of in line with this work, but I didn't really know what this work was until like later on I was like, oh, so like that's porn. And then I started kind of figuring things out as I got older. So
you did watch adult films prior to coming on your first shoot?
Yeah, I was watching porn.
What did you
It is time to stop the fuckery.
What did you notice about, like, what did you pay attention to when it came to the male performer and the female performer, I should say? As far as watching the content.
Yeah, so looking back, I can recall the males better than the females.
Okay,
and
why?
The one that stuck out to me is Owen Gray.
Okay.
Which is funny because I feel like eventually I'll probably go to work with him.
Oh, you haven't gotten to work with him yet?
Not yet, but I think he follows me.
Okay.
But yeah, so
why? Because he is the. I interviewed a girl. And she told me he uses
the vibrator, the Hitachi.
Right.
I remember that, and the alphabet leg.
What's the alphabet leg?
Oh, he has like the alphabet tattooed on his leg. It's kind of like a gradient.
Okay.
It's like real dark at the bottom of his leg.
So does that turn you on?
Yeah. Tattoos are so hot for me.
Okay. Because usually one. Okay. All right. So you noticed him. He stood out to you.
I noticed him, and then I just that's the guy I can just remember. Like, oh yeah, I remember watching him when I was like a kid.
You came in here. Can we share that story now? You came in here and you was like, I'm very familiar with this location.
Yeah.
What'd you say about that room to your left?
That room over there, 2 weeks ago, I just got pounded out in. Shout out to James Angel.
James Angel. Cassidy Luxe joining us on the Bougie Show. What's that, regular boy? You do backdoor stuff and all that too, or no?
I'm pretty well known for my anal performance.
I don't watch adult films anymore. I only see it when I'm preparing for your interview on Twitter or something like that. So I don't watch it like that. I'm just older now. You know, I'm an old man, so I'm sitting there watching. I used to have a collection. I need to get rid of it. Don't you think that's kind of weird that I still got all the DVDs?
You should keep
up on
them.
Yeah, but what I'm going to do with them? I got an 18-year-old daughter. Last thing I want her to do is walk up in there one day and be like looking for something. And why has daddy got these behind this row?
You should keep them, though, because I feel like the DVD era is just, it's not what it was.
Right,
you know? You should keep them. The legacy.
Do your family and friends know what you do for a living?
Yeah.
Did you break it down to them, or they found out Because I've heard both sides. Somebody minding their
both.
business and telling them going out their way.
Yeah.
There's both.
It's both. So my mom, I broke it down for her. Once I hit like a 1 year, I was like, all right, it's
Oh, she
time.
didn't know the first year.
She didn't know the first
So you
year.
didn't want nobody else to inform her. You wanted to be the one to tell her.
Yeah.
And how do you do?
kind
How is the
of.
breakdown of that? How do you go about that?
I was hanging out very, very often with another porn star in the industry.
Female or
and-
male?
Male.
Okay.
And yeah, we were like very, very friendly with each
So
other.
y'all were friends with benefits?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
And so I was my mom was going through like a huge transition in her life.
Okay.
So I was like, well, she's going through all that, all positive stuff.
Oh, I was
She's
gonna
going
say,
through
you wanna
that.
drop some more on?
No,
Okay,
it's
all right,
all
got you,
positive stuff.
got you.
Oh, she's going through that.
Okay.
And I got this thing going on, and every time she calls me, I'm at this guy's house. So I kind of got to explain like who he is and, well, why would I be with a porn star? Well,
Oh, you told her who he is.
yeah. So
Why did you have to tell her that? Why could you just say he was a banker or he's a freaking manager of Publix or something?
my mom and I are so open
Okay,
about
all right. So
everything.
you're very
Yeah,
transparent.
so I was like, well, she's gone through all this. I'm kind of explaining all that. I'm just going to put it all on the table while she's going through a huge transitional phase in her life. It's now or never. And so I told her, and then the rest of my family just kind of found out.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah.
Kind of found out?
Kind of
How do you
found out.
kind of
I
find
don't
out? If you
know
don't watch
how
adult
they
film,
found
somebody
out.
told them.
Yeah. I don't know how they found out, but I know the conversation was my grandmother. She called my mom and was like, what is this? A DVD? And she's on here, and there's a
It's time to stop the
G-string.
fuckery.
And I was like, yeah, everyone's going to know now. She was the last person I wanted to find out, my grandmother, and she was the second person to find out.
So the first Thanksgiving dinner after everybody knew, or Christmas, how did that go when you walk in the building?
I actually have not seen my family since kind of being in the industry, but
Is that
I will
intentional?
be seeing them next month.
Oh,
so.
wow. So they probably won't even bring it up.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably not.
Cassidy Luxe joining us on the Bougie Show. What about your friends?
They all they knew.
Okay.
Like I was just
I interviewed a lady named Andy Avalon. She's new to the game and she's doing
Oh,
her
yeah,
thing.
she's so gorgeous.
Right, yes, she is a good-looking woman. And she was saying how she lost so many friends. And
People get weird.
so that's why I was asking you, did you lose any friends?
Did I lose any friends? It's kind of, so when I started doing OnlyFans and I went into stripping and then eventually landed in porn,
Right.
the process of OnlyFans and stripping is kind of where I was starting to lose friends. People get really weird when they see you doing you and it's doing good for you. And that's kind of what was happening. It was like really weird energy, a little bit of like envious energy. And I was like, listen, I can't fuck with this.
Right.
Like if you're not going with me, then like you're not like coming with me at all, you know? So it was kind of like telling them like, I'm on this journey. So if you're not about it, like then you're not welcome here. So
They never, none of them say, hey, I can't mess with you because of the lifestyle you're living.
no,
That's never happened?
It was
Okay.
just like weird energy. And I'm like very empathetic. So I can feel that stuff really well. And yeah.
A comment that we've been getting lately, and I've been dropping this question on all the performers that join us. Quote, I bet your parents are so proud. What's Cassidy's Luxe response to that?
My mom is my biggest supporter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And my dad is dead. That's another
Okay.
one. I always tell them. I'm like, oh, well, that's funny because my
I can't
dad's
applaud
dead.
that. We just,
Stop the fuckery.
R.I.P.
yes, as we
He's
do.
happy
Rest
now.
in peace. Yes. Wow. Wow. Okay. What makes a scene truly enjoyable for Cassidy Luxe?
A good crew. Just
The crew.
The crew.
Not even just a performer. The crew.
It's the crew. It's everybody that makes it happen. And it's just like when it all clicks, it's just a fun day. It's great energy. Everyone's feeding off of everybody. So it's like it's the whole thing, really. But I love working with a great performer, and I typically luck out. I get awesome co-stars and stuff.
Shout out to Filthy Kings. When I went to meet him, I ain't gonna say his name. When I went to meet him, and talk about him being a part of this next event, while I was there was two performers that walked out. Male and female, they walked out at two different times. This is my first time. I didn't go in the house when they were shooting, but I was in the front talking with him, right? Mm-hmm. And the two male performers, why did they walk out of there like they were walking out of a trap house? Like they just bought illegal substance and then they just dip in. They're not trying to make eye contact with you or nothing. I saw a performer who's joining us tomorrow and I said, hey, come here, let me holler at you. Daysky, right? So yeah. So I'm asking you, is that just how they were moving, or is that something you guys do when you guys finish shooting? You just kind of get in your car, get the hell up out of there.
Yeah, kind of.
Why?
I mean, for me, like when I'm leaving set, I shoot often with the same crew, so I kind of like linger a little bit, like just kind of chill for a minute. But then, yeah, I kind of just get in my car and go. But it's like, I feel like a lot of us too, when we're leaving set, we're so drained from the day that it's like we are kind of just like, all right, I got to go home.
How long are you usually on set?
It depends, like, what we're shooting. Like, sometimes I might be on set for 2-3 hours, and I've definitely been on set for, like, 6 hours.
Wow.
So it really just kind of depends on what exactly you're shooting.
Do you take a shower usually there, or do you wipe yourself off and then go home and handle your business?
Most times I take a shower on set, if there is a shower.
Okay.
Sometimes we're shooting in public, so.
Wow. Have you done a Bang Bros bus?
I did the fan bus, so I didn't get to do
So
the
you
Bang
F the
bus.
fan? Is that a true thing, or is that just what they call it?
That's what they call it, because it's more for like an OnlyFans page.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah.
Have you ever F the fan?
Well, I mean, I guess you could say some of my exes are fans.
We'll applaud that. Cassidy Luxe joining us on the Bougie Show. Which performer did you notify that you would be joining the show? If you did you notify anybody? Nope.
No,
Nobody.
I actually don't think I did.
Did you ever speak to anybody about joining that's been on the show and ask, hey, how was that experience for you?
No, I don't think I have.
Wow,
actually.
you didn't even care.
Yeah.
Some people do. Some people I speak to my peers and I ask.
Yeah, I trusted
Okay.
my publicist.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, yeah, Erica. Erica's not going to lead you down the wrong way.
No, she's not.
Best way to make you orgasm, just off the fly, real quick.
Missionary and doggy too.
Oh, so they say doggy is when you feel it the most.
Yeah, I come a lot in doggy, but also missionary too.
Okay, so you feel it, but I also heard that's where you feel it. Also, is that true?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that what position has you running the most? Is it doggy or is it missionary?
Oh, I feel like it's almost equal. So I feel like for missionary, I do come a lot because it's the intimacy of that moment. And I'm actually a pillow princess. I love to be
Oh, you
on
love
my
to feel
back.
like goddamn we'll apply.
I love to be on my back. But also in doggy, I feel like the orgasms are more intense. So I feel like in doggy, I have more back-to-back orgasms.
Wow.
But I think I appreciate it more when I'm in missionary because it's very intimate.
When's the last time you faked one?
I feel like the other night.
The other night.
Yeah. I feel
Was
like
this on? Well, I don't know if you could say if it was on camera or off camera. Was this
It was
work
on
related?
it was.
Oh, so you had to do it.
It was work related for my own work.
Okay, for OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. For your own
So-
content.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had to fake it because you have to finish it, the scene? Is that why?
Kind of. Yeah. I just needed
Okay.
to amp it up.
Okay. But why couldn't you do what you need to do to get your rocks off?
I was using a new toy, so I was kind of.
Oh, you were doing it by yourself?
Yeah,
Oh, I
so I
thought you was
was
with
kinda
another
getting
performer.
acquainted
Okay,
with
got
this
you.
toy.
Oh, so you just got to
It
get
was like an
familiar.
impromptu
I got you,
thing. I wasn't even
got you.
planning on using this toy, and then it just kind of happened.
All right. That's cool. What male performer out there, I guess you kind of answered it already, that's on your hit list? Is there anybody new in the industry that's on your hit list that you want to knock down?
New in the industry.
Or that's been around besides Owen Gray? Like, that's who you came up watching.
Oh,
But
yeah.
who is the guy that's in one of your peers that you're like, I didn't get a spin off of that yet?
Well, I do actually. You mentioned Damien Daysky. I do want to shoot with him.
You ready to take that on?
I really want to.
Have you ever dealt with something that's... Well, you worked with Dredd, right?
Yeah, I took dread in my ass. So I think with that being said, I probably could handle anything. I don't know about
Is he a
fist
soft
yet.
hard or is he a hard hard?
Oh, he's hard. That thing is a bat.
It is?
Oh yeah.
But you couldn't take it in the vagina.
We didn't even try.
Why?
He was like, no, just your ass. I'm like, okay.
Would you try it in the vagina?
Yeah.
Have
I
you
actually
ever-
want to do a round 2 with him.
Have you ever had anybody that size in the kitty cat?
I have. I mean, not quite his size, but I
Right.
have had pretty big dicks in there. Like I feel like Alex Jones, not
Oh,
as
yeah,
big
yeah.
as
Oh,
Joe,
Alex
but
is...
I've.
Well, I'm not going to sit here and ask about whose penis is bigger, but go ahead. Sorry.
I don't think he's as big as Dredd, but he's big, and I've had him in both my pussy
All the
and
way?
my ass.
All the way?
All the way, yeah.
How was that experience for you?
Great.
Oh,
I
you
love
enjoy...
working
Oh, you're a
with
size
Alex.
queen.
I wouldn't say I'm a size queen, but I can take it.
Okay. But you're not coming home to that every day.
No.
Okay.
Average for the win.
Average for the goddamn win.
Yeah.
Shout out to all you regular degglers.
Yes.
Cassidy Luxe joining us on the Bougie Show. Is there a male performer out there that you won't perform with because of how they use their utensils?
I don't know. You know,
You pay attention to it though, right?
I do. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty open-minded, and I'm pretty open to almost anything. So I don't really think that there's anybody that I'd be like, absolutely not.
When's the last time you got with a civilian?
It's been a long time.
Yeah?
I pretty much stick to the industry.
When's the last time you had sex off camera?
Probably about maybe like a month or so ago.
That was just to get your rocks off
Yeah.
with another performer?
Yeah.
Do you guys like meet up at a house? What do you guys do?
Usually in one of my hotels, or if I'm near their house.
And you just hit them up?
I do have hoes in different areas.
Goddamn. Applaud that, goddammit. You're a G, huh?
Kind of.
You ever had your heart broken?
Oh, yeah.
Prior
I
to
wear
it.
my heart on my sleeve. Surprise.
You
Yeah.
never dated another performer, though.
Kind of.
I always heard that's
It
bad.
wasn't, yeah. It was very heartbreaking. I'm in therapy.
Wait, it was heartbreaking for you? Why?
I fell deep.
How do you fall deep, though, when you, like, how do you fall in love with somebody that does the same thing that you do?
You know what it is? It's like, I think it's because of what we do, we also are very passionate.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
it's like we do know how to be like really deep and passionate and form great chemistry. And I think that's really what it was just like the chemistry and connection between us. And we spent a lot of time together. Like we would be like together for like a week straight. So
While performing with other people?
yeah.
Damn, that is crazy to me.
Yeah, yeah.
So how do you guys talk about your day?
I sit there and watch shows. It's actually kind of hot too.
Do you guys talk about your day? Like when you come home and say, oh, I just worked with Jared. Does he
Yeah.
ask you, well, how was that taking that log in your behind?
Yeah. Yeah.
He just asked you that.
Yeah, it's a normal conversation. I mean, I think in most cases, and for us too, it was like a little bit of a boundary at first. Like, hey, like, are you comfortable wanting to talk about your day? Like, that was definitely the first conversation before actually being like, yeah, I just like fucked like crazy today, you know. But yeah, I've definitely had my heart broken, and I've.
Why'd you guys, if you choose to speak on it, why'd you guys part ways?
There was just a disconnect. Yeah, it was just, we
Did you
weren't,
fall
like,
in love with him
seeing
prior to
eye
having?
eye
Well,
or
you
something.
you were intimate with him prior to dating him, right? Because you worked with him, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we met on set.
Have you ever fallen for somebody without being intimate with them?
Have
first,
I
initially,
fallen
like-
somebody? I mean, sex is definitely a really
That's-
easy way to get me to fall.
Yeah, clearly. That's when
Have I though? I mean, I definitely I get like hyper fixated on people sometimes, so I've definitely formed like crushes probably without being intimate with somebody.
So you don't think it's more of a lust thing initially?
Maybe some lust too.
Okay.
I think a hyperfixation is more of a
More appropriate
lust
way to
form.
state it.
Yeah. I guess the hyperfixation is the creeper way of putting it.
Were you accustomed to bigger size jocks before getting into the industry?
I had a few big ones.
Like swinger life? Were you doing a little swinger
no.
life? Oh, just regular guys you dated?
Never did anything swinger like.
These were men you dated?
I think so, right?
Oh, so you were just hooking up then?
Yeah.
How do you hook up? How does Cassidy Luxe hook up with somebody prior to being an adult performer? You meeting them at a bar? You at a club? Or is it a record?
A few
through a
from the
friend?
bar.
How does that work? How does that work?
I had a groupie period
Oh,
in my life. I was fucking like dudes in bands and things like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Pure
It's
fuckery.
time to stop the fuckery.
Hey, if you're watching.
If you're what?
You is fried.
Do you know what fried is? You're all the way out there.
No, I don't-
You're
yeah, I
gone.
don't know
There's no
about
coming
that.
back. Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry. I'm kind of an airhead.
No, it's all right. You're not airhead. You speak well. Well, you already answered this one. How was it like working with Dredd? And we already got that.
It was great. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Really,
yeah.
Really nice
One of
guy.
my favorite interviews
Yeah.
for sure. And I've
Really
yet to
nice
have
guy.
anybody. Only thing I've had somebody says they're not taking on that. But that's it. That's the only thing.
It's not for the weak. That is for sure.
Not for the week. Did you have to take some time off after that?
No.
Like the next day you could go to work
Yeah.
and your kitty cat bounces back?
Well, it was
Well,
my
no,
ass.
actually your beehole. So that's
And
even.
you know what? I was really surprised. I went in that fully ready to repair from a tear, and it didn't happen. I did bleed initially because I mean it's got to stretch, you know. But I've torn my ass before shooting, and I was like, yeah, it's gonna happen again, and it didn't. I was like very proud of myself. I was like, good job, girl.
Let me ask you, when you use the bathroom after that, I don't talk scat, none of that, because I think it's disgusting. But is it easier to use the restroom after performing with Jay?
Shooting anal, I'm usually pretty constipated for a few days afterwards.
Right.
But I be farting. Yeah, it's my ass is like
to
a,
the next
like a
question.
dude after anal.
What sexual acts have found your way on your no checklist? Like you've done it and then you're like, that's not for me.
Honestly, not much. Like, it's actually really funny when I have to go over a boundary checklist before a scene.
When is the last time you said no to something then?
The only thing I usually say no to is anything extreme. Like, obviously, no extreme facial abuse. Like, I'm never going to be open to that. I don't want a black eye or a broken nose.
I totally understand.
Currently, no to fisting. I just haven't done it yet. And I think after Dread, I could definitely do it, but I'm just not ready. I fisted myself, but... my hand compared to a man hand is a little bit different.
Wow.
So honestly, those are like my two no's.
You have anal? You perform anal in your personal life?
Yeah. Yeah. If I'm having vaginal sex, like put your finger in my butt.
I want to talk to you, and she got mad about it. Erica and I had this discussion. One of her girls, Avery Jane.
Okay.
She talked about this clip actually went viral. It went ridiculous viral on several different social media platforms for us, and it was at Exotica Chicago 2022. And she stated that she hooked up with a guy, and because she does hardcore films, that guy tried to impersonate that, or tried to, replicate that, or, perform what he saw on the camera. And she's like, whoa, that's not how this works.
Yeah.
Have you experienced that? Where somebody just tried to shove it in your beehole? Like somebody, a regular civilian, while you're going to give some... No,
I haven't experienced that, mostly because if I am like having a hookup or anything, it's mostly inside the industry. So I haven't really experienced that, but I do know it's so normal for people they want the porn star experience. And they think that because they're getting with the porn star, they can act like one too. Yeah. And it's like, it's not what you see on camera. Right. Like, there's a lot of time and stop and go to get that in the film.
Right.
Like, it just doesn't happen.
When's the last time you've been hit on outside in the world?
Oh, I mean, every day at the gas station.
And what do you do?
What do I do?
You ignore them?
I either like laugh or smile, say thank you, or just keep walking.
So what would a person have to do, or what would they have to bring to the table for you to actually say, hey, let me actually give this person a conversation? Like, you took a glance at him and you created eye contact. Has that ever happened to you?
Oh, for sure.
And what does that person do to get your undivided attention?
Compliment me.
That really works.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you hear it all the time, then
I'm a really nice person. Like, I definitely like to say thank you if somebody compliments me. Like, I don't want to be a bitch,
Yeah, but then I'm talking about as far as actually giving them conversation, engaging with them is what I'm asking. If
I have the time, then I might, engage a little, but most times I don't.
I kind of figured that was coming. Could you see yourself returning to the corporate world again and starting a pastry chef business?
No.
After you've ended?
No.
So what is your plans when it's all said and done with... You know what? Go ahead.
Perform for as long as I can. If I'm 85 and still able to do it, I'm doing it.
You work out?
Not currently, but I
So how you watch what you eat, or you just naturally slim?
I'm plant-based, but also naturally slim. I've always been very slim.
Smoke reefer?
I take edibles before bed.
Okay.
So
do you fall asleep before the edibles kick in?
I try to. Sometimes I'm a little too hyper, and then I'm up and high, but...
Why don't you smoke, like papers?
I have really bad anxiety.
But it's the same shit, isn't it?
You know what? It's so weird. Like, I used to smoke. I actually got expelled from school because of marijuana.
That's bullshit. Now it's legal, right?
I know. I had to pay to expunge my own record, and then they were like, we're legalizing it. No one has a record. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck
It's time to stop
like,
the
bitch,
fuckery.
I was 18 expunging that record from my minimum wage job. I put that work in, and now you guys get a free ride.
Yeah, we're playing.
Anyways.
That's true.
But yeah, so I think I used to smoke and I loved it. I would laugh hysterically, the typical fun high. And I think when I stopped because of my arrest back in high school, I tried to start smoking again once I got off of my probation. And that's when I started developing like anxiety towards being high. And I tried. All my friends are like, you just got to keep smoking, build up to it. I'm like, I am. And every time I get high, I'm asking you guys to take me to a hospital. So I just gave up. But for whatever reason, the edibles still sit really well with me. And it's weird because the edibles will creep up on you.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I would never do it. I like to feel me getting high. Just like drinking. I've never done a shot. I like to sip and feel the buzz coming. What, you drink wine?
Champagne.
Champagne. Ooh. Like to pop them bottles, huh?
Yeah, bougie baby.
That's right.
I stick to champagne because I don't get hungover from it. Everything
Wine
else
will
I
hang
get a
you over?
hangover.
Wine.
Oh, wine! I've never been able to drink. It gives me heart palpitations.
You notice a significant difference when you're being intimate with a man and he's been on alcohol opposed to when he's not been in drinking?
Sometimes, because sometimes I have a hard time
Getting
getting
erection?
hard,
Oh,
or
yeah.
even staying hard, and that's totally cool.
Or being able to skeet out because
Yeah.
you're kind of nummy.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
totally cool. You know, it
Yeah.
happens. But yeah, definitely. But sometimes some dudes, they can fucking pound town
Yeah.
like when they're all messed up.
You like
and
to get
stuff.
pounded out
Oh hell yeah,
to where you can't walk the next day?
absolutely.
You ever had coke penis?
Yeah, because I'm also a stripper.
Okay.
So I deal with a lot of customers that are, coming in off the blow and they're like, oh, I want to get hard during this lap dance. I'm like, baby, you were just snorting lines. You're not getting hard.
Yeah.
That's often why the girls in the VIP room will give them Coke so that way they don't ask.
Try to get some?
Yeah, because a lot of times when they're in the VIP, so what can I get? Some Coke, so that way you can.
Wow. There's
I
no
don't
sex
do
in the
that,
champagne room?
Huh?
No sex in the champagne room?
I guess it depends on the dancer.
Okay. I had interviewed a young lady. She stated she was a dancer also. I think she was at Tootsie's, and she says cocaine and lotion on the penis numbs it, where they can't get hard. Have you know anything about that?
I mean, the cocaine for sure.
Yeah.
I've definitely been in rooms where they've given it out because the dude's like asking way too much, and it's like, yeah, here, just take this. Then try asking and see if you can get what you're looking for. And then he can't get hard. So he gives up.
Cassidy Luxe joining us on the Bougie Show. Your thoughts when you see performers come and go so fast in the adult film industry, knowing that their content will remain forever?
It's not for everybody.
Have you seen quite a few come and go?
Yeah, I have seen people come in. I think they usually say like the average person won't make it like 6 months. That's what they say.
That is what I've heard.
Yeah.
But then you got some that are just doing a couple main shoots and then just to build up their OnlyFans and then they dip out. How do you feel about that? I mean, I see the logic in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's logical to get your name out there. And then obviously, because, I mean, your OnlyFans is actually like your bread and butter.
Right.
That's your most consistent income
Correct.
right there. So, and it's not a platform that markets itself. So you got to market it somewhere.
Are you making, I don't know if you want to speak on it, are you making more money from your own content creating or through mainstream?
I shoot pretty often in mainstream. So I feel like it depends on the month, but I do feel like it either equals itself out or my mainstream actually is a little bit more. So.
If you could change one thing about the adult film industry, what would that be?
Oh, that's a good question. And I feel like I get this so often and I don't ever have an answer that I feel so strongly about.
Okay.
But honestly, I feel like I'm just going to say what's on my mind now is I actually feel like maybe it's more so like the way that people market themselves. I feel like people don't realize when they're like talking shit and stuff on the internet, that's still reflective of you. Like the internet is basically your resume. So I kind of wish like people would just like treat business as business and not mix personal problems and business together.
Yeah.
But I know there's bigger issues than that. I just can't think of them right now.
what do you know, and I'll be real with you because I feel like you're very transparent. I feel like
I am.
our level of honesty is here while we're having this conversation, an intimate conversation. I want to say to you, what do you say to, I'm a civilian in your world, right? I'm almost like a reporter, right?
Right,
I'm not one of you, but I understand where you come from. So it's
Yeah.
like 60 Minutes where you go and interview the serial killers and, blah, 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 whatever, and you interviewing whatever, and I'm getting a sense where when I first started this 3 years ago, interviewing adult performers, it was more of the sexual content and just getting excited from that. Now I'm in the game and like I'm really seeing the ins and outs and seeing the things that you guys have to deal with. Do you think that you have to be a little off crazy to be an adult film? Like you just have to have like a switch where you just don't give a shit
Yeah.
to actually do it?
For sure.
Oh.
You have to be a little out of your
honesty.
mind. Yeah.
Appreciate your honesty. We applaud that.
I mean, it takes a special person to just bear all for the entire world to see and
Right.
know that that is never going away.
So you might as well make money off it, own your own content. So
Yeah.
even while you're gone, somebody else could be collecting check off your work, right?
And that's because I've had that before where somebody asked, like, would you stop doing what you do if you met the right person? I'm like, well, no, I wouldn't, because if I met the right person, they would respect what I do. And still, if I wasn't even doing it, say I was retired, they still also have to live with the fact that I'm living on in this industry, even if I'm not performing anymore. Like, that is still out there forever. It's never going anywhere.
What do you, now that we're on that, because I think a lot of guys think that they can deal with it initially. That's what
No.
I hear a lot, and then it doesn't last.
No.
You couldn't see yourself with a civilian man at this moment in time, could you?
I could.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would totally date.
But how long
a
do you
s-
trust?
or
How
be
long
with
do
a
you think it
civilian.
lasts until when they start getting emotionally attached and developing strong feelings, and then it's like, oh, I got to go to work, and then you know it starts creeping in their head. Like,
Yeah, you better
What do you-
hope that your personal security is as strong as your feelings, because this is not easy to deal with.
yeah.
And it's like also the fact that, yeah, for us it's work, but it is like we are still engaging in sex at the end of the day. So like they still have to be okay that I'm getting pounded out for work while they're at home or doing whatever they're doing, you know, like
And then, hi, honey,
we
how was
don't
your
look
day?
at it that way. Like it's just like, okay, yeah, I'm going to work. Like I have to work today. But
Right.
you know, in everybody else's eyes, like, yeah, the technicality is I'm having sex.
Do you find that California is more professional than Florida? I do personally. When I go to California,
Yeah.
they're on
The
time.
work ethics are so much better out there.
Competition.
Yeah, the work ethic is a lot better, and there's just, even just more work in general. Like, there's just way more opportunity there. But I do all of my work is pretty much in California. I hardly ever shoot here in Florida. So yeah, I
think this is
going to
be our last one in Florida too. They're just not as professional down here as they are.
Yeah,
in
I'm
Florida.
moving this year.
Yeah,
I
you're
can't
gonna
stand
move?
it here. I
You
hate
done
it.
in Florida?
Hate it.
Going to the West Coast, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Vegas, not
Yeah.
LA, because I don't like their
That's where our
government.
photographer lived. He flew in from Vegas. To,
Yeah, I like LA. 'Cause
LA, you just get your money and go.
Yeah, I like it there because that's where my work is. But I don't. If I move to LA, I feel like I'm gonna move into the same problems I have here in Florida. Not work wise,
It's
but
expensive
just
too,
the
right?
personal life. It's so I'm gonna go to Vegas. It's just I think a better balance for me personally.
Do you like pain?
Do I like pain?
Yeah, you got all.
I like
ink and painful
adrenaline.
spot. Okay.
I like adrenaline. I definitely have noticed as I've gotten older, my tolerance to pain is slightly different, but I still get off on the adrenaline. So
How do you feel about you spoke on it with the Twitter fingers? How do you feel about female performer calling out creeps in the industry as of late?
So I think that it's okay to bring an awareness to something really serious, but I've noticed, and this is not even completely industry related, but I have noticed even just through my personal life, people calling things out, cancel culture on the internet for things that aren't actually true. So it's like, did something happen or did it not happen? Like, be honest about that, because cancel culture really does ruin people's lives. I've seen my friends go through it that aren't in the industry. And so it's just like, just be for real. Be honest. If it's a real problem, okay. But if it's not, like, don't do that.
What are you doing when you leave here?
What am I doing? I'm going home.
I just wanted to see. If
Hanging
you,
out with my dogs.
Okay.
Probably go live on OnlyFans. I they like when I cook on there, so I'll
Oh
probably
yeah.
cook
Do
some.
you cook like naked in bra and panties? How's that work? Or you wear regular clothes?
They pay me to get naked, and then I cook naked. So I start cooking, and then when they're
And like,
like, "Can
okay,
you get naked?" I'm
so like
"Can
when
you
you're
send
stirring the
money?"
rocks, when you're stirring the rice or whatever you're doing, do you like turn around and be like, show them your kitty cat and stuff like that? Yeah.
Yeah. Prop,
Like, what-
one leg up on the island while I'm stirring on the other.
But you're not hearing their voice. You're just reading their questions, right?
Yeah, I can only see what they're typing.
Okay. And what do they kind of say to you while you're cooking in the kitchen naked? Do they tell you to do something with the spoon or?
You know what? They actually have never ever requested me to do anything with like the food or the utensils or anything. Most of the time, they're just wanting to get to know me and do like a little bit of a Q&A. Like, they're very respectful of me. And it's kind of funny because they don't often sexualize me on my live feed.
Do they ask you the penis humiliation? Do they ask you for some of that?
Sometimes they will.
What's your
I
go-to
have
line?
a few.
What's your go-to line? When you get a real good
Usually
one?
that like their penis is really pathetic. It could never please me.
Right.
They're so disappointing. Stuff like because they love that.
They love it.
Yeah, they love it.
Do you think it's hilarious?
I do think it's really funny because it's out of my nature.
Do you think that, because I've heard women say, or performers say that that do that penis humiliation, like their penis was not, was nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But they still wanted to be humiliated. What do you think about that? I'm sure you've experienced it.
Yeah, I often, because for me, like, there are girls that are so good at that, and I envy that, because
Right.
I personally, I don't feel like I'm really that good
Right.
at being dominant
Right.
or humiliating people. So oftentimes, in the back of my mind, I'm actually wondering, like, why is that something that they get off on when they do look okay? Like, why is that their thing? So I just find it interesting because I like to know, like, why people have the kinks that they do. I know why I have my kinks. So it's like, what did you go through that, like, that's what turns you on? That's usually what I'm thinking. I'm like, huh?
What do your audience appreciate most about your content on, like, your OnlyFans or whatever?
Obviously the fact that I perform anal and I love eating ass.
Wow, men or just women?
Everybody.
So, a thing that a lot of females complain about is men not knowing how to clean the booty hole. I'm sure you've experienced that. Or do you make them clean it out before you get down in there? Do you say, hey, let me see you? Or do you clean them? I had one lady say she took a man in the bathroom and showed him how to clean his behind. Have you had to do that?
I've definitely I've had experiences where I now will need to implement that.
Okay.
Where I'll be like, all right, so let's go get ready for the scene or whatever. But
Do you think that's weird? Do you have to show a grown man how to clean his butt?
I have not had to show them
Okay,
how to do
okay.
it. I've been really fortunate that I've worked
Yes.
with people that are typically really, really clean. So, but yeah. So, but I've definitely been in situations not even related to ass where I'm like, okay, we're definitely gonna need to get ready together.
Wow.
Make this a group effort so everyone is good to go.
Wow. Vagina maintenance. How do you go about making sure the kitty cat gets its primary care?
What I actually do, shout out to E-Buns for this tip.
I know that name. Why do I know that name?
Alana Buns.
Oh, okay, got you.
Beautiful blonde.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah. She actually had tweeted out one day that she was doing like boric acid flushes. So prior to that tweet, I was just popping a boric acid suppository after every time I shoot in my pussy. And I was like, I don't feel like it's helping 100%. I have a really sensitive pussy. And then
Tight.
she
just sensitive. Okay.
she's just sensitive. She gets angry easily. A lot of times people's chemistry will kind of throw off my pH. So
You do the cream pie?
yeah, I have a breeding kink, so I love cream pies. And I don't take birth control, so I have a real breeding kink.
Breeding kink. Elaborate a little bit, just so.
Just getting fucking treated like a cum dumpster and seeing what happens.
Inside the your stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
All the way around. But yeah, so I just do I dump the boric acid now into a douche and flush my pussy out that way, and that keeps her on track. So just always make sure you're peeing. I pee in between. If we have to stop and pause for a minute, I will go pee, flush all that stuff out, do my boric acid flush, and obviously take a good shower. And that's how I just make sure she stays in pristine condition.
Do you give it throughout the month? Do you give it certain times where, okay, I have to give it a break? Do you go like 2 days in a row and say, all right, the next 3 days have to?
Yeah, I'll take breaks because when I am often when I'm shooting in like clusters. So my agent, he will book me like back to back for a period of time, and then after that, I'll take a week and a half off just to give it a break and stuff like that. But I usually will take a decent break like 2-3 times a month where I'm just like, no work. We're gonna take a solid break.
Have you ever had it swollen?
Oh, yeah.
What causes it to swell?
I think just from getting beat up so much. Yeah.
And is it like hard? Do you like when you're walking? Do you feel it like?
Yeah. I had one time where I shot so much that I caught a raging UTI, and my pussy swelled up so big that I had to go be seen because I was like, something is not right. And it turned out it was a very bad UTI.
Right.
My pussy was so swollen, they couldn't even get a speculum to crank my shit open. And oh my God, it was the worst pain ever. I couldn't walk. It was so big, I could feel it like touching my legs. And
Wow. Was there anything in particular where you knew that took it over into overdrive? That you did, that you like?
Honestly, you know what? I think it was my fault because I douched out with a shower head, and I think it actually pushed too much bacteria up in my urethra.
Got you.
Because the shower head's big. You know, a douche is actually going inside your pussy hole versus the shower head's kind of hitting the exterior and the interior of it. So I think honestly that's why it happened. But also it was just a lot of work, like a lot of dick. And a lot of tongue, and it's a lot going on.
Oh my God. You guys get tested every 13 days, right?
Yeah, every week to every 2 weeks.
When's the last time you've been intimate with a condom? In a while. You remember how to put a condom on?
I know how to put one on. I don't like them.
Yeah.
Like I feel like
one on for you or one on the man?
I could put one on a man.
Okay.
But I feel like dudes, I feel like are notorious for like, oh, I don't want to wear that. I can't feel anything. But no, I can't feel anything.
You can't either.
No.
Wow.
Like take that shit off.
Yeah, goddamn
I can't
right.
feel that. I'm like, it's not just the dudes. It's me too. I can't feel anything. I think the last time I actually had sex with a condom was like the beginning of 2023 because some California companies by law have to use
they have
them.
to shoot with the
So I think like the last time I actually ever used a condom was probably like a year ago because I had to do it for work. So
You didn't enjoy that performance?
I mean, it was a great performance. I worked with Brad Newman.
Okay.
It was great.
Yeah, I've interviewed his girlfriend.
Oh yeah, he's awesome. Love to work with him again.
All right. Cassidy Luxe joining us on the Bougie Show. December 22nd, 2023, you tweeted, quote, "Baby, you're not a pay pig. You're broke and want attention," end quote. What led to that tweet?
Oh, it's just these guys, mostly like subscribers, even though my subscribers know I love them so much.
Yeah.
But sometimes you get these guys that are like, let me spoil you, drain my bank account and whatever. And it's like, okay, well, cash out me X amount of dollars. Well, I can make an Amazon account and link my credit card to that. No, I'm not logging in to an Amazon storefront. I don't know what's behind that. Or it's like, or I could put money in your... No, you're just giving me a runaround because you don't have the money for me to drain.
Right.
Like, you're drained.
Right.
Like, what do you want me to do?
Fried.
Can't pour from an empty cup, baby.
You, let's go back a little earlier. December 16th, you tweeted, quote, "Real simps and cucks don't haggle. Real simps and cucks don't haggle." What does that even mean?
It's the same thing. Like they want to like, oh, like they want to simp for you and they want to be this cuck. And it's, again, they're just giving you a runaround. Like if, like, let's just say like somebody's like, oh, like I want you to cuck me. When can you do it? Because I will. I'll cuck somebody. I actually really get off on that. But then it's like, okay, well, let's set it up. And then it's like always a runaround. Like, no, if you really were that, you'd be on it and you'd make it happen and you wouldn't give me some sort of response. You just be, okay, yeah, let's do this, you know?
Something I saw with the young lady, matter of fact, it was our last interview in California in September when we were there, and her name was Leah Brand, and she talked about, she didn't talk about it. I saw it on Twitter where she said, I guess some guy paid her like $250 and then he refunded it back. How do you prevent that from happening?
You don't. That's an OnlyFans flaw.
But if you've executed and they charge you, how can they just take it back if you've done what you've offered, the services that you promoted?
That's a good question. If ever you have OnlyFans sitting in this seat, I'm staring at the camera just because I want someone from OnlyFans to hear about this. Right. And I'll give a good example because this has happened to me only on OnlyFans. So I had this subscriber, brand new subscriber, just came in and was like, I want this scene, I want this scene, I want this scene, I want this scene. So sent them all the requested scenes they wanted. They paid for all of them. And then he started sending screenshots from my ManyVids storefront. He's like, I want this scene. Can I get this here? I want this scene. I'm like, well, babe, if you're already on my OnlyFans or on my ManyVids page, why don't you just buy it there? He's like, well, because I want it here because then I can save it in whatever it is on their side of things.
Right.
Okay, you can download it from ManyVids. Like at that time, I was letting them download the scenes, not strictly stream them off of the ManyVids page. And I'm like, this is so weird. Like, why is he doing that? Then I noticed hours later, he charged everything back. And I wrote into OnlyFans. I'm like, hey, I did my part. So where's my money? And why do they have it? So they have the content now and their money back. And I have nothing. They're like, oh, well, whatever their excuse was. And they said, but, just to make sure this doesn't happen again, we've actually blacklisted their credit card and deleted their account. And I'm like, okay, that's excellent that you helped everyone else out, but you still fucked me over. And I think the reason why he did those screenshots was because ManyVids doesn't let you charge back. OnlyFans does. So it's just like a flaw on their end. And
you would think with a platform so big that would be one of the main things they cover.
They do nothing without us.
That's that needs to be
That's
addressed.
what, like, when they tried to cancel us and then realized they couldn't because they wouldn't survive.
Hell no.
We didn't forget. We didn't forget.
Talk your shit.
Appreciate the platform, but seriously, you guys fuck us over so bad every day.
Yeah, that is a shame. What is the go-to meal after you finish filming?
Ooh, usually a Wawa's, like a sandwich, a hoagie, or like a vegan burger. Yeah.
Do you like stop and pick it up and eat it in the car while you're driving home, or do you have to pick it up and then get home and then you eat?
Yeah, and it also depends too. Like if because like I said, I most often shoot in LA, so sometimes I'll even like order some pasta or something to my room, just something to really gorge in.
When you go to LA, do you usually are you staying at a model house, or you rent an Airbnb, or you rent a hotel?
I get my own hotel.
You find that to be cheaper than an Airbnb, or you just prefer the hotel setup?
I do think the hotels are cheaper because Airbnb, those cleaning fees.
Oh yeah, especially over there with the taxes.
Wait, you're charging the actual rent also in the cleaning fee. I'll clean for you. I don't care. Yeah. I don't want to pay that. So yeah, oftentimes I'll just get like a nice suite in a hotel, so that way I have extra space to shoot in.
You go by yourself? You travel across the country by yourself?
Yeah.
You don't be lonely or scared?
No. When I first started doing the travel, I was a little scared. Now, if I'm in LA, I don't go and do things by myself. I don't know. LA scares me.
It does?
I'm like, yeah, it's like Halloween Horror Nights walking around Hollywood. Those homeless people, they scare me.
Yeah, I understand. I understand that.
But I also have a lot of my friends are on the West Coast, so most times I'm doing stuff with them if I'm doing anything. But I used to get scared, and now I look forward to my peace.
Quick question, just random thought. What is your favorite thing to as an exotic dancer? What's your favorite thing to do? Like, is it bend over and touch your toes? Is it cock one leg up in the air? Is it?
So I am a stage girl.
Oh, okay.
Out of the different types of girls in the club, I'm a stage girl.
Okay.
So being on stage,
that's it.
Yeah, I am a absolute hog when it comes to the stage.
I'm sure you've been to Tootsie's Cabaret, right?
You know what? I actually haven't.
No.
So
you never seen a stage girl where there was one. I think she was a performer. This was 2009, 10, 11-ish. And I remember this one stage girl, she was a performer, and she poured hot candle wax on her stuff.
Oh, shit.
And I used to be like, how is that possible? Do you know anything about that?
I've seen feature performers, which I also am a feature performer. I've seen feature performers kind of do that, or put the glowing liquid on them and put glowing liquid in their ass or pussy and push it all out and stuff, which is pretty cool. But yeah.
Can I share something with you?
Yeah.
I was at a random round the corner from where I live at exotic club, right? And this time we were booking, and I was trying to get things lined up in the schedule, and I opened up my Twitter, and I'm scrolling looking for performers or whatever that potentially sent out an invitation, and I'm in the exotic club, and I'm scrolling. Was I crazy for having my Twitter open? Because I'm not looking. They might think I'm looking at porn, but I'm actually not. And while I'm in there, I'm just observing things and the dancers and how they come in and they work, but you do that also, but you also an adult film star, right? So when you're in there with are you in there with other adult film stars, or are you like the only one at where you work
In my
at?
club, I'm the only one.
And do they know who you are?
Yeah.
You told them? How do they know?
My DJ, he is amazing. He shouts me out all the time over the speaker,
Is
so
he a
that way the
fan of
whole
you?
club knows.
Is he a fan of you? What do you do?
I think he's a fan
And
of
what
mine.
do you do to show your appreciation to him for shouting you out? Do you buy him a drink?
I tip him out. I mean,
okay.
it's mandatory, but I do try to be as generous as possible, depending on the night, with his tip. So.
And when you're giving dances, when you feel the erection, do you just ignore it, or it just get to the point where you become numb to it now
The erection?
from the customer?
Oh no, that actually grinds my gears, and I make it my mission to make them come. I feel
Wait,
like
what do
a
you
lot
mean
of
make them
dancers
come? You're not
don't
having sex.
like.
What do you mean make them come?
Oh,
you mean
they'll come.
like a pre-cum?
They'll come in their pants. I have had customers that like,
Older men.
Yeah, that
Oh,
actually
okay.
they
Makes sense
can come so easily that like they would come in every shift to get a lap dance from me, so that way they could bust a nut in their pants. And then they will literally sit at the bar with cum in their pants.
It is time to
Yeah.
stop the fuckery.
So it kind of, I feel like a lot of dancers actually get very annoyed when customers come, or sometimes they pee or shit their pants. Yeah, it's really weird. But I actually I make it a mission then, where I'm like, oh, you're hard? Okay.
You never done that to a young boy though. Young boys
Actually,
going for that. They
one
want to
time I had a gay guy actually. He asked for a lap dance with me, and he got so hard, and I was like,
why you saying like that?
I was shocked.
You is fried.
I was really shocked, and I'm like, maybe it's just the friction. Of course, that's a body part. That's how it responds. But I was like, because he was cute. I was like, are you really? I was like, So yeah.
And that was one of the things I also meant to mention when I was in. I saw an old man. He was extremely old, and I'm like, that's not kind of weird, cringy, no, to you? No? When you see somebody in that old? I mean,
No,
do they
I
tell you
guess
that their wife is dead and they just need to do something with their time? What do
it
they
is?
say?
A lot of times when I'm doing a VIP room, most of the times with me, it's not like, so what am I going to get out of this? Most of the time, it is a therapy session. So they'll pay like
For a
$1,000, or
Wow.
actually more, because my rate's $1,000, and then
To go in the back room.
Yeah,
you must dance at one of them expensive.
$1,000,
And all I'm
but they
getting-
still have extra charges.
Wait,
so-
what?
But most of the time, it's a therapy session. They want to vent about their wives, or they're lonely, or kids, like normal stuff. Most of the time with me,
What are they getting for that $1,000?
a conversation.
Oh, stop the fuckery.
It is time to stop the
Yeah,
fuckery.
most times that's what it is.
They have to be older, man, because no young boy is going to give you $1,000 and not want to break your back.
And sometimes they do too, though. I had one time, and we actually still like keep in touch. I had this really young guy. It was Thanksgiving Eve. I just got in the club, went on stage immediately. It's the first thing I do. I get my outfit on. I go to the DJ. I say, "All right, I'm ready. Put me on." And I get on stage, and this guy, he's like, "Come see me when you're done. Come see me." I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay, whatever." But I did. And I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And he's like, "You want to go in the back?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Sure. I just literally just got here. That'd be great. That makes
Start
my
your day
night.
out, start your night off like that?
That makes my night way easier when I get out of this room." He fell asleep. And so at the end of the first hour, I'm like, "Hey, like, your time."
So you charge them while you watch them sleep?
Yeah. I wake him up, the first hour is over. I'm like, "Hey, your time is up. You're welcome to stay in here, or we can go." And he goes, "No, just let's just keep going." I'm like, "Okay, I know that you're really tired, but you got to go to the booth and let them know that you want to keep going." So he did. He gets up, he goes, comes back in, he falls back asleep. 5 hours of this. So I made $5,000 off this really young kid. I think he was 22.
What did he do for a living? Was he a scammer?
I don't know.
You didn't even ask that.
I just
You
know
weren't curious?
his family. They have a really successful hotel business.
That was my son. I would have beat the hell out of him. But go ahead.
Yeah, they
Sorry.
had a really. From what I remember, his family has a hotel business, so I think maybe he has like part ownership in that or something. But yeah, so at 22 years old, I made $5,000, and all he wanted to do was sleep. Really nice guy, though.
He didn't try
Really
to come
nice
back,
guy.
double up the next day. Hey,
No.
let's go out. Nothing. You wouldn't
No.
have gave him no kitty cat after spending all that?
Nope.
Wow.
Nope.
I'm saying you wouldn't have?
Oh, no.
That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. It was great.
Yes, it was. We applaud you for it. Jesus. I remember I was mad a girl got me for $200 in the back room. Because I had got one girl, I had got her, but then I tried it with another one and it didn't work. This was in my younger days, but you
They must have been setting their own price.
Jesus. Cassidy Luxe joining us on the Bougie Show. Tell me about a location you were sexually active that you never imagined would happen.
Well, I guess I'm going to go off the top of my head. This was in my my groupie day. I met a guy in New York City. He's a vocalist of a band.
Okay.
And we had been chatting for a while. We're actually we're still friends. We had been chatting for a while, and we finally got the chance to meet. And so I met him up at the venue, and he's like, "I'm horny," and I'm like, "Okay." And he's like, "Let's go find a spot in your car," and I'm like, "We're in New York City. Where the fuck do you think we're gonna find a spot?"
Right.
I was like, "First of all, you're here on tour. You have a van.
Right.
Let's get in the van."
Oh, we can applaud that. Goddammit. Go ahead.
Oh, we get in the van. The van is parked right by the venue entrance. So all the fans are lined up. And they're ready to get into the show. And so he's fucking my brains out in this van. I'm screaming my head off. The fog in the van on all the windows. It was so obvious what was going on. I mean, it's a car. It's not soundproof. So I had sex in a van on the street in front of a venue in Brooklyn.
Okay.
It was great. It was thick as hell too. You split my shit open.
Oh, wow. You split you open?
Hell yeah.
Wow, you still remember that one, huh?
I do. We fucked plenty of times.
Okay. All right, because we're running out of time. We're going to go run into this. If you could have a constructive conversation with one human being, dead or alive, over dinner, who would that be and why?
A constructive.
Yes, meaningful conversation.
Oh, you know what? I feel like I want to say Jay Shetty.
Okay.
Yeah, he'd be so fun to talk to, especially for what I do. I feel like I'd be such
I can see that.
a really, really fun, in-depth conversation with him. But also, I love his views on everything. So I feel like that would be a good one. Or Paris Hilton. Or Kris Jenner.
I've had other people say
Paris Hilton or Kris Jenner, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fucking geniuses.
Kris Jenner would be interesting.
Yeah.
End goal for Cassidy Luxe.
End goal. Happy, healthy, and extremely wealthy.
We can applaud that, goddammit. Drop a bomb, too. All right, that's dope. We're going to do name drop, name drop, name drop. That's when I state 3 names. I'll state 2 from the adult film industry, and 1 from a known figure in society.
Okay.
And you'll say what the first thing that comes to mind when you hear their name. To
Okay.
me, all right? First is Andy Avalon.
Beautiful.
Okay. Alex Jones.
Hung.
Okay. SZA, I saw you follow her on Instagram. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, I just love her.
Oh, you?
That's what comes
Okay.
to mind.
All right. Just love her. All right.
Just love her.
All right. That was cool. Moment of truth. Moment of truth we're going to start is where I state things. If what I say is true, if I state is true, you say true. If it's false, you can say false and elaborate on why it's false. Let me know why. And if it's something you choose not to answer, you can say pass.
Is it about me?
No, it's just things, random
general?
things I'm going to say.
Okay.
All right. Most men prefer the bush.
I want to say false.
Okay.
I want to say false. I feel like more men usually ask for a bald pussy, or at least a little something.
Okay. Just some on the top.
Yeah.
You've experienced sexism on set before.
I want to say false. I don't think I have. I think everyone's pretty respectful of me. Or others. I don't know. I can't speak for them.
You've shot a scene and wish you had canceled it after it was finished.
Yes, true.
Why?
Just lacking confidence, time management.
With you or with the person you worked
The
with?
other person.
Ah.
Yeah.
How do you know they lack confidence?
It was the particular one that I'm thinking of is you could just tell they were really, really nervous and they couldn't get hard.
A new guy?
Not even really a porn star. It was more of a creator
Content
that
creator,
actually
okay.
paid my full rate to shoot with me.
Okay.
But I think they were really intimidated, and then they just
Did
really
you break
messed
them
up my
open?
time. Did I break them open?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, okay, here, her young buck, you ain't ready for this. Let me take you
Oh
to
yeah,
session.
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I was like, listen, because this was actually I had to be at a convention right after the scene. I said, listen, look, we have been shooting for 2 hours. We've gotten 2 positions or 4 hours.
Wow.
We've gotten 2 positions done, we need to wrap this up because I got other things to do. So what you're going to do, you're going to put me in doggy, angle me diagonally to the camera, and just pretend like you are slamming my shit, and you're going to fake that cum shot. And then he did.
He couldn't get his rocks off.
No.
Wow.
I think he was really, really nervous. But it was frustrating because I had other things to do.
A woman is about a business. 18 is too young to become an adult performer.
True.
I agree.
Any type of sex worker.
Yeah, I believe 21
type.
or older is my thing.
Yeah, honestly, I would even say like
25 is what I'm hearing now.
24.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too young.
You've had a talent look you in your eye and ignore your double tap.
False.
Okay.
Yeah.
If a civilian man attempts to eat you out the first time y'all have sex, he's nasty in your mind.
False. I don't
Okay.
think he's nasty.
Okay.
I feel like that's a really good build up for a lot of men to kind of get in the mood is by eating pussy.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. You enjoy, well, you already answered this one. You enjoy rimming men, so we'll skip past
Hell
that
yeah.
one. When it's time for the money shot, you get nervous it's going to land in your eye.
True.
Where do you prefer the money shot?
Well, I love cream pies,
Okay.
but if they can keep it below the eyes, I prefer that.
Okay. Nothing
Yeah.
on the breast, stomach, butt, none of that?
Oh, that's good too.
Okay.
Yeah, anything below the eyes is cool.
Okay. You've gotten burned as a performer.
Burned?
Chlamydia, blah, blah, blah.
False. I've never ever in my
Okay.
life.
We'll applaud that. That's good.
Never in my life.
That's good. If you had a son, you would prefer for him not to become an adult performer.
I would not. I wouldn't care.
Oh, you wouldn't care?
Yeah, I wouldn't care. If I had a daughter or a son, I'd do it too. So who am I to
Do
say
you
you
want
can't
kids?
do that? No.
Okay. Most say they don't. Last one. You sometimes think to yourself, I wonder how all this is going to play out.
Yeah, I often think like,
true.
where's this all going? Like, what is gonna be the moment, the come up, the
outcome.
outcome? What is it like? Yeah, I mean, it's all positive vibes in my eyes. Like, I think it's all going to a great place. But yeah, sometimes I wonder, like, what will happen eventually?
Miss Cassidy Luxe, I appreciate you being so transparent. I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate the energy. I think it was really dope. I kind of expected it because I saw other stuff when you spoke, but I knew I was going to get the best out of you. This was really great and joyful. Are you ready to go take some pictures and do our
I
thing?
just want to take some pictures of it.
Cassidy Luxe joining us on the Bougie Show. We do wish you the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you.
We appreciate you coming out your way to come and joining us on this platform, and I'm pretty sure the audience will take a great liking to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Cassidy Luxe joining us in the building. It's the Bougie Show, y'all.
It's the Bougie Show with Zeta DJ.
Great interview.
Awesome. Thank
That was
you.
really good. That was really